y'all, I'm Carole. Welcome to my Creating Corner. I'm so glad you've joined me. I hope you come back. Go ahead and click subscribe, then ring the bell to be notified when I post another video. I love creating together. Specialty designer papers add so much to our creations, but do you ever think about working directly on the papers instead of using the fancy stuff as layers and accents? I was playing around and am in love with how embossing paste looks on this Mercury glass panel specialty paper. Isn't this gorgeous? It's so easy and actually quick to make and has real wow. Here's another I did that has zero stamping on the front. Just a wreath cut from the all-around wreath die set in Garden Green, a cheery Merry using the Merry Christmas die set, a few embellies from the Toile Christmas glitter enamel dots, and a nice big cheery red bow. So, for this card, along with the embossing paste and the brick pattern from the Pattern Party Decorative Masks, I have gathered my Toile Christmas stamp set and the coordinating Cardinal dies. Look at all the dies you got. Aren't they pretty? A piece of real red cardstock cut at your regular 5.5 by 8.5 to score at 4 1/4. A Mercury glass panel cut at 5.5 by 4 1/4, and two whisper white panels, one for the Cardinal and the branch, one for the inside, and another scrap for the happy little banner. Yes, and I used quite an assortment of Stampin' Right markers and some blends. I'll have all the colors I used down in the description box below. To stamp the Cardinal and the branch, I did use the Archival Basic Black. I recommend the Archival Black ink because the markers will pull color from the regular black ink and then it kind of smears. All right, let's get started. I love this. I love it. I love it. Let me get everything out of my way. Here we go. Now, to create this awesome background, you're going to line up your brick pattern mask on the Mercury glass panel. You'll take your palette knife and just a little smear of the embossing paste. Look at the size of this tub. It really lasts forever. You can make it whatever color you want with just a couple drops from the re-inker. Yeah, I like the embossing paste. But anyway, so you line up your mask along, make sure it's straight so that you have a straight brick wall. And then just give it a smear. That's it. You don't want to use a lot. You don't want to have really solid coverage. You want it to have that distressed old brick wall look. Oh, just a nice little spread. There we go. I kind of just went at an angle from the top sort of to the bottom. Get the rest of my embossing paste back down in there. Now, here's the thing when you're using your embossing paste. Isn't that nice? Yes, I like it. Let me put it aside while I do the rest of the card. But here's the thing when you're using your embossing paste. You do have to clean off your mask and palette knife pretty quickly. Once it dries, it is a bear to get off. So let me get the baby wipe out of here. I usually just take it to the sink. I don't know if it really should be going into the water supply, but I generally just wash it off in the sink. There we go. Clean Make sure if anything bled through, let me just wipe the back. There we go. All right. Now, this panel is ready to be used. We're just going to set it aside and let it dry a minute. Let me just put it there. Okay, so let me take a Whisper White panel. Let me get my dies. My archival black ink. Now we're going to go ahead and stamp the Cardinal and the branch. Now, when you're using this ink pad, you can kind of rub it around to make sure it covers your stamp well. This is a hard felt pad, so it's not going to make a real mess of the rest of your stamp. So we stamp that straight down, no wiggling. Now we're going to go ahead and do the branch. Stamp it off, make sure it's covered. Yes. And we're going to put them kind of as far apart as we can on this panel so that we can run it through the cutting machine at the same time and the dies won't get in the way of each other. Shut that before I make a mess. There we go. All right. Using my dark Real Red and my dark Poppy Parade, I'm going to color in, well, but the dark Real Red, I'm going to use the, I'll color in the berries real quick. Only takes a minute. Well, I've already done another set and cut it out. You don't need to watch me color all those in. But I'm going to do like the parts that I want darkest on my bird. I'm going to do in the dark Real Red. Go up that way. Ooh, it's looking like a hot mess, isn't it? It'll be fine once it's done. Kind of highlighting some of these feathers. There we go. Now I'm going to take my dark Poppy Parade and I'm going to go over the whole thing. Colors will blend in nicely and this Poppy Parade really brightens it up. Isn't that nice? Okay. And then a bit of Mango Melody for his beak. This is the dark Mango Melody. And then I'm going to take the crumb cake, the dark crumb cake for the branch. And yeah, I've already done another one of those, so I won't take up too much of your time. And then using the Old Olive. This is a dark Old Olive. It's a little bit lighter than Mossy Meadow. So I colored the leaves in with the dark Old Olive and then came back with the Mossy Meadow just to kind of add a little bit of depth to it. Okay, let me put that aside while I do my sentiment. Where is my sentiment? Okay, here's my sentiment. Now, I wanted the banner in green and the writing in red. So to do that, we use the Stampin' Write markers. This won't work. This technique won't work with the Stampin' blends. The blends dry immediately. So the Stampin' Write markers will stay wet a bit. So you just take your Stampin' Write markers, the color that you want, and you color in the piece of the stamp that you want that color. I wanted the banner in Garden Green. So I've got my Garden Green Stampin' Right marker, coloring in the banner. These do stay wet a bit. And then I'm taking my red Stampin' Right marker and I'm coloring in the words. There we go. You might want to give it a little huff to make sure that it is still wet, and then just stamp it right down. Straight down, and there you go. Multicolored image off of one stamp. Let me go ahead and clean this on my awesome, look at that. You go down on the simple chamois and it just sucks the color right off your stamp. It's perfect. For the black, I do use the StazOn remover. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and cut these out with the dies, and I have already done that. There we go. Let's go ahead and stamp the inside also before we start putting anything together. Since my writing is in red and my banner is in green, I'm going to do the sentiment on the inside in red. Now remember, when you're loading up ink onto your stamp, you don't push and smush. It's just tap, tap, tap. Stamp it off to make sure that your entire stamp is covered. It is inked in, so tap, tap, tap. And right in the middle. There we go. And I'm going to do a little finial design. This little design in the green, since the banner is green. Yes, it is inked up. Just tap, 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 and then straight down. Tap, tap, tap. Straight down. And then my inside is ready to go. I usually stamp my inside panels before I adhere them to the card, because as long as it's not adhered to the card, there's no such thing as stamping it upside down. Okay, let's just put this together real quick. Let me take my Mercury panel. The embossing is done. I'm going to grab a smidge of tear and tape. Okay. Smidge of the tear and tape. Put it on the back there. Let's get it off. Sometimes I'm such a fumble fingers. There we go. I'll use this. Tuck it here on the top corner. There we go. I am going to put this on the card front before I put the Cardinal on. I'm just going to take some more tear and tape. Doesn't take a lot. There. Oops. There. Got a little bit of the sniffles here. There. Peel that off. I tell you, since this is a panel the size of the card front itself, I'm sure y'all have a better way to put it on, but what works for me is to stand it up, line it up, and usually it works for me. There we go. And there we go. Okay, now it's time to put the go ahead and get some, where is everything? Sometimes I get so much stuff in front of me I can't find myself. There we are. I've got some mini Stampin' dimensionals here that I'm going to put behind certain flowers, certain elements of the branch. These mini dots are so cute. Let me add one more. Right there. Peel off all those backings. How quickly this is coming together. Isn't that exciting? Okay. And I do want the branch fairly straight. There we go. Now I'm just going to use a mixture. Well, no, I'll just use all the minis. Stick with one thing, right? Put some of these on the back of my Cardinal. Notice I didn't put any on his feet because his feet are going to be on the branch, which are already raised up. So, line him up there. There we go. We're almost done. All we have to do is, oops, fold this card over and put the sentiment on the inside. Oh, I should have scored it. Why didn't I score it? Oh well, live and learn, right? There we go. Now, let me just grab some more of the tear and tape, just a tad bit. Peel it off. I'm in such a Christmas mood. I want to go bake cookies now. Make sure you don't have your sentiment upside down. I put this on the wrong one. Silly me. Let me see. This one I had already cut. Okay. This one is the one I needed to do. Oh my golly. Oh well. Man makes plans and God laughs, right? I'm going to have to cut that other one down for another card. There we go. Make sure it's not upside down. And pop it there in the middle. And there you go. Isn't it beautiful? Oh, I love it. I just love it. So, if you like this card, I really would appreciate a thumbs up down there. And come visit me on Facebook. If you do not have a U.S. demonstrator, if you're in the U.S. and you don't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I would be honored to help you get your stamping needs. So just visit me at creatingwithcarole.stampinup.net and drop me an email. All my contact information is on my Stampin' Up! Website. If I can help you with any needs you might have with your stamping needs, if you need any suggestions, just drop me a line. Thanks so much. Until next time, keep making the world a beautiful place.